Listen to me right now, because I need you to feel this in your chest. 2025 is not a year you walk into with the same energy you had before. This is not a year for half-stepping, for talking big and living small. This is the year where life is either going to crown you or crush you. And the difference comes down to one thing: are you ready to transform? Not on the surface, not just in how you look, not just in what you show the world, but deep inside, in the way you think, in the way you move, in the way you fight for your own destiny. Too many people are walking around alive, but already dead inside, chasing distractions, flexing for attention, living for comfort, and wondering why their lives feel empty. Transformation doesn't come from comfort. It comes from fire, from struggle, from discipline, from pain, from faith, from cutting out everything that holds you back and building something that outlives you. So if you're sitting here thinking this is just another year, you're already losing. If you're ready to step into this with hunger, with focus, with fire, then this year is yours. When I tell you discipline over distractions, I ain't talking about something light. I'm talking about the core of who you are and how you live in 2025. Because right now, more than ever, the world is designed to pull you away from your own greatness. Every scroll on your phone, every notification, every fake lifestyle you see posted is built to trap your focus. And if you don't learn discipline, if you don't take control over what your eyes see and what your mind absorbs, you'll waste another year of your life chasing shadows. See, distractions look small, they look harmless, but they're the real thieves of destiny. They don't come like storms. They come like whispers. They don't scream at you. They seduce you. One video turns into an hour. One gossip call turns into a wasted night. One lazy morning turns into a habit. And before you know it, time has been stolen, dreams have been delayed, and opportunities have passed right in front of your eyes. Discipline is the weapon that kills those distractions. Discipline is saying no when everything in you wants to say yes. Discipline is looking at the world trying to pull you in and saying, I don't serve you. I serve my vision. In 2025, the biggest battle is not outside, it's inside. It's not against enemies. It's against your own urges, your own weakness. Because distraction doesn't just live in the world. It lives inside you. It's the voice that says sleep a little longer. It's the urge that says you deserve a break when you haven't even earned the grind. It's the comfort zone that hugs you so tight you forget what hunger feels like. But discipline, that's the breaker of chains. Discipline is the decision to get up when you don't feel like it, to show up when nobody's watching, to practice when the crowd is gone, and to keep going when quitting looks easy. Without discipline, you're just a slave to the times. With discipline, you become the master of your destiny. And 2025 will not bend for the distracted. It will only reward the disciplined. Look around you. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants transformation. Few will actually taste it, not because they're not capable, but because they never trained themselves to resist distraction. The truth is, distractions are only powerful when you're weak. And weakness comes from lack of discipline. When you build discipline, you don't even need motivation every day, because you've already programmed yourself to do what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. You think a boxer wants to train every single morning. You think an artist wants to create every single day. No, but discipline makes them. And that's why they win, because discipline doesn't wait for feelings. Discipline acts on decisions. In 2025, chasing quick highs, temporary escapes, and digital validation. But let me tell you, the man or woman who wins this year is the one who learns to shut the world out and lock into their purpose, the one who treats their time like treasure, the one who guards their mind like a fortress. Because distractions can't enter a fortified soul. The problem is most of us treat time like it's unlimited, like it will always be there. But it won't, and distractions know this. They eat away at your hours until years go by. And you look back wondering where your life went. But when you've got discipline, you don't play with time. You respect it. You don't waste it. You invest it. Every hour is accounted for. Every move is intentional. Every choice leads to growth. That's how you win. Discipline is not punishment. It's freedom. The freedom to say, I control my mind, my body, my time, my energy, not the world, not trends, not temptations, me. When you live like that, distractions lose their grip. They can dance, they can scream, they can tempt, but they can't shake you, because you already decided who you are and what you're here to do. So if you want transformation in 2025, don't chase motivation. Don't beg for inspiration. Build discipline, because discipline will take you further than hype, further than feelings, further than distractions ever could. And when everybody else is lost in the noise, you'll be walking straight toward your destiny, unshaken, focused, unstoppable. Consistency is king, because without it, nothing you start will ever live long enough to grow. And that's the problem with most people in 2025. They want instant change. They want quick results. They want transformation without repetition. But life doesn't work that way. Greatness doesn't bow to your mood swings. Success doesn't reward your wants. In a while effort, transformation comes from showing up day after day, even when you're tired, even when you're doubting yourself, even when the world doesn't clap for you. Consistency is what separates the dreamers from the doers, the talkers from the winners, because talent will open a door, but only consistency will keep you inside that room. It's not what you can do once in a while that matters. It's what you can do every single day without quitting. Think about it. The gym doesn't reward the one who lifts heavy one day and disappears for a month. It rewards the one who shows up 5 days a week, even if they don't feel strong, even if they're sore. Because the body listens to repetition, not to excuses. And your mind works the same way. It doesn't change by one motivational speech. It changes when you feed it discipline and positivity over and over again. Consistency is programming. It's rewiring your brain to respond to effort automatically. And when you reach that level, you don't even argue with yourself anymore. You just do it, because your consistency has turned your vision into a lifestyle. In 2025, distractions are louder. Temptations are quicker. Shortcuts are everywhere. So the people who win are not the smartest, not even the most talented, but the most consistent, because consistency beats intensity every time. It's easy to burn hot for a week. It's easy to go all in for a month. But what about the days when it's boring, when it feels like nothing is moving? That's where consistency becomes your crown. Because if you can keep showing up when results are invisible, you've already separated yourself from the masses. Most people quit because they confuse slow progress with no progress. Consistency knows that every step counts, every brick builds the wall, every rep shapes the muscle, and every effort compounds into greatness. Consistency is the quiet builder of empires. Nobody may notice you at first. Nobody may clap for your grind. Nobody may even believe in your path, but consistency doesn't care. Consistency is faith in action. It's saying, I will show up until my work speaks for itself. And the truth is, people may doubt what you say, but they can never deny what you've built. And that comes from repetition, from putting in work day after day until there's too much evidence to ignore. And the beauty of consistency is that it turns effort into identity. You stop saying, I want to be disciplined. You start saying, this is just who I am. And that shift is the foundation of transformation. The hard part is that consistency doesn't always feel rewarding. Sometimes you'll grind for weeks without results. Sometimes you'll sacrifice without recognition. Sometimes you'll give your best and see nothing change. And that's where most people fall off. Understand this. Consistency is planting seeds. You don't dig up the soil the next day to check if it's growing. You water it. You keep showing up. You trust the process. And then one day the growth is undeniable. One day the results hit all at once. And you realize every boring, painful, unnoticed day was building toward that breakthrough. People who stop never see that day, but the consistent ones do. And that's why they win. Consistency in 2025 is about choosing long-term strength over short-term feelings. It's about deciding that your habits matter more than your emotions. It's about proving to yourself that your word means something. Because every time you break consistency, begs in my life. You don't just waste time, you damage trust with yourself. And every time you keep a promise to yourself, you rebuild that trust stronger. You start believing in your own power. Once that belief is alive, there is no force that can shake you, because you've already proved through action that you can endure, that you can persist, that you can outlast. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's not about never falling. It's about never staying down. And the reason it's king is because it rules every area of life: health, wealth, relationships, purpose. Everything bows to repetition. You can't pray for transformation and work like you're temporary. You can't dream of greatness and move like you're average. Consistency is the crown that marks you as chosen. And in 2025, the ones who wear it will be the ones who transform their entire lives, while everyone else is still talking about what they're going to do someday. Face the pain. Don't run. Because the truth is, pain is not your enemy. It's your teacher. And the problem with most people today is they think life is supposed to be comfortable. They think growth should come without pressure, without struggle. But that's a lie. Nothing great was ever born out of comfort. Everything powerful came through pain. And the more you run from it, the more it chases you. Pain avoided becomes pain multiplied. You can drown yourself in distractions, hide in addictions, cover it with fake smiles. But the wound is still there. And until you face it, until you confront it, it owns you. But the moment you look pain in the eye and say, I'm not afraid of you, you start to transform. Because pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to shape you. When you face pain, you discover strength you never knew you had. You find out what you're made of, because you can read all the books, listen to all the speeches, collect all the wisdom, but nothing tests your character like suffering. Nothing exposes your truth like struggle, and nothing refines you like hardship. The strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire, and your soul works the same way. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every heartbreak, every failure, it all comes with a message. But you'll never hear it if you're too busy running. See, when you run from pain, you stay weak because you never learn the lesson, and life will keep repeating it until you finally stop and listen. The pain you're carrying right now is the path to the version of you that you've been dreaming about. You won't meet that version unless you face what hurts. The world in 2025 will test people in ways they don't expect. That mental battles, emotional wars, financial storms. And if you think running from pain is an option, you'll collapse. But if you embrace it, if you face it, if you say this storm won't break me, it will make me, then you rise. Because pain doesn't shrink when you run. It shrinks when you fight it. And the secret is the pain is temporary, but the strength it builds is permanent. The scars it leaves remind you that you survived. They become proof that you are stronger than anything that tried to destroy you. And while everybody else is busy hiding from their struggles, you'll be turning yours into power. Facing pain also means owning your truth. Too many people pretend like they're fine, pretending like nothing hurts, but deep down they're broken. And that fake strength keeps them stuck. Real strength is saying, yes, I hurt. Yes, I failed. Yes, I'm bleeding inside, but I'm not quitting. I'm not bowing down. I will use this pain as fuel. Because when you face it honestly, you stop being its victim and you start being its master. The enemy wants you to believe that pain means weakness, but the reality is the opposite. Pain faced becomes wisdom. Pain endured becomes endurance. Pain conquered becomes confidence. Every time you survive what should have broken you, you walk taller, you stand firmer, and you realize nothing outside of you can defeat the fire inside. Understand that pain is not punishment. It's preparation. Preparation for the weight of greatness. Preparation for the responsibility of success. Preparation for the role you're meant to play. You can't ask for a throne without being tested by the wilderness. You can't ask for a crown without carrying the cross of struggle. Every leader, every warrior, every legend walked through pain, not around it. Because the path to strength is always through the storm. And the ones who try to avoid it end up living small, shallow lives with no depth, no resilience, no power. But the ones who faced it, they become unshakable. They become the ones who inspire others. Because their scars tell a story of survival, and survival is the seed of legacy. So in 2025, don't be afraid of the nights that break you. Don't fear the battles that bleed you. Don't run from the storms that surround you. Look them in the eye and step forward. Let the pain cut. Let it burn. Let it mold. Because when it's done, you won't just be stronger. You'll be unrecognizable. You'll be transformed. And people will look at you and wonder how you made it through. And the answer will be simple. You faced the pain. You didn't run. In that decision, you became untouchable. Faith in yourself and God is the backbone of transformation, because no matter how strong your discipline is, no matter how consistent you are, there will come a point in 2025 where life will test you so deeply that the only thing holding you together is faith. Faith that even when you can't see the outcome, even when you can't understand the process, even when the whole world doubts you, there's a greater plan at work. Faith is the voice that says, keep walking when the road looks endless. Keep climbing when the mountain feels too high. Keep believing when the evidence is stacked against you. Without faith, you will break under the weight of uncertainty. Because life will always throw you into moments where logic fails, where effort doesn't match results. And that's when faith steps in and carries you through. Having faith in yourself means refusing to let self-doubt control your destiny. It means believing you are worthy of the dream you carry. Even when your environment tells you otherwise. Too many people sabotage themselves because they never trust their own power. They wait for validation. They wait for approval. They wait for someone else to crown them before they move. But faith in yourself says, I don't need permission. I don't need applause. I don't need proof. I believe I can because I know what I'm made of. And that inner belief creates an energy that nothing outside can shake. When you move with that kind of faith, doors open that were once locked. Opportunities show up that once seemed impossible because the world bends to those who refuse to doubt themselves. But faith in yourself alone is not enough. You need faith in God because no matter how much you plan, there are things you can't control, storms you can't predict, battles you can't fight alone. And that's where divine strength comes in. When you trust God, you realize that setbacks are not the end. They're setups for something greater, that rejections are redirections, that delays are part of the preparation. And this belief gives you peace in the middle of chaos. It keeps you calm when everyone else is panicking. It keeps you moving when everyone else is stuck. Because you know you're not walking this road alone. You know there's a force bigger than you guiding your steps. And with that knowledge, fear loses its grip. Faith is not blind hope. It's not wishful thinking. It's active trust. It's saying, I will move as if it's already mine. I will work as if the outcome is guaranteed. I will grind as if the promise has already been written, because I know the one who started this work in me will finish it. That's the kind of faith that transforms lives, because it doesn't just talk, it acts. It doesn't just dream, it works. And when you combine that with faith in yourself, you become unstoppable, because doubt can't live where faith thrives. Fear can't exist where belief is rooted. Every obstacle becomes smaller. Every challenge becomes fuel, because you know that no weapon formed against you can prosper. In 2025, the attacks on your faith will be stronger than ever. Distractions will make you doubt your path. Failures will make you question your worth. Losses will make you wonder if you're chosen. That's when you dig deeper. That's when you stand firmer. That's when you declare, I will not be shaken, because my faith is bigger than my fear. My belief is stronger than my pain. My trust is greater than my circumstances. And when you carry that energy, you stop being a victim of life and start being a creator of it. People will look at you and ask how you're still standing after everything. And the answer will be clear, because you never stop believing. Faith gives you vision when eyes can't see. Faith gives you strength when the body is weak. Faith gives you courage when the world says quit. And without it, every challenge becomes a wall. But with it, every wall becomes a door. Begs in my life. This is why so many people fail. They give up the moment things don't go their way. They forget that faith requires patience. That faith requires persistence. That faith requires the ability to keep believing even when the results are invisible. But the ones who hold on, the ones who keep the faith, those are the ones who rise. Those are my life. Those are the ones who transform, because faith is not just a belief system. It's a power source. And when it's alive in you, no storm, no doubt, no failure can keep you from your destiny. Cut out the dead weight, because transformation cannot happen when you're dragging anchors everywhere you go. The truth is, everybody says they want to rise. They want to grow. They want to evolve in 2025, but they don't want to let go of the people, the habits, and the environments that keep pulling them back down. And that's the biggest contradiction. You can't hold on to what broke you and expect to heal. You can't carry people who don't believe in you and expect to soar. You can't keep practicing the same destructive habits and expect to change. Dead weight looks familiar. Dead weight feels comfortable. But dead weight is the reason your wings can't open. And until you release it, you will never know how high you were meant to fly. Sometimes dead weight comes in the form of people. Friends who call themselves loyal but disappear when you start focusing on growth. People who cheer when you're broken but get jealous when you start building. People who only know you for your weaknesses and never want to see your strengths. And it's hard, because these are the people you've laughed with, cried with, grown up with. The truth is, not everybody is meant to walk into your future. Some were only meant for your past. And if you keep dragging them with you, they will drain your energy, distract your focus, and keep you tied to a level you already outgrew. Cutting them off doesn't mean you hate them. It means you love yourself enough to protect your destiny. Other times the dead weight is not people but habits. The late nights wasted on nothing. The scrolling that eats up your hours. The comfort eating. The procrastination. The excuses you feed yourself to justify why you're not moving. These small things add up to massive blocks in your life. You think it's harmless, but every repetition digs you deeper into mediocrity, and then you wonder why success seems far, why growth feels slow. It's because you're feeding the wrong cycles. And if you want to transform in 2025, you've got to replace those habits with powerful ones. Trade wasted hours for invested ones. Trade excuses for action. Trade comfort for growth. Because every single habit is either weight holding you down or wind pushing you forward. And sometimes dead weight comes in the form of environments. The places you go, the energy you allow around you, the conversations you entertain. If you're always in rooms where people gossip more than they grind, complain more than they create, settle more than they strive, then you're suffocating your own vision. Environment shapes energy, and if your environment is heavy with negativity, it doesn't matter how strong you are. Eventually, it drags you too. You need to surround yourself with spaces that lift you, people who challenge you, energy that pushes you, because growth cannot survive in toxic soil. Transformation needs the right environment to breathe. The reason most people never cut off the dead weight is because it's familiar, and the familiar always feels safer than the unknown. Comfort zones are the heaviest chains. They trick you into believing you're secure while secretly robbing you of your potential. You'll never see new horizons holding on to the same old baggage. And yes, letting go hurts. Yes, walking away is uncomfortable, but staying stuck costs far more. Because every day you delay is another day your destiny is being postponed. When you finally decide that your purpose is heavier than your comfort, that's when you make the cut. And though it stings at first, the freedom that comes after is unmatched. Cutting dead weight doesn't mean you'll walk empty. It means you'll walk lighter, faster, stronger. It means you'll finally have room to carry the blessings you've been praying for. Because how can you hold on to new opportunities with hands still clutching old pain? How can you embrace your next level while chained to the last one? The weight is not just physical, it's emotional, mental, spiritual. And once you drop it, you'll feel a release you didn't know you needed. The clarity will return. The energy will rise. The focus will sharpen. Because you were never meant to live heavy. You were meant to rise free. In 2025, transformation won't come to those who keep dragging what's killing them. It will come to those who are ruthless enough to cut, brave enough to release. Wise enough to recognize what's no longer serving them. Your future is calling, and it's not negotiating with your past. So drop the dead weight, step into the lightness of freedom, and watch how fast your life shifts once you finally stop carrying what was never meant to be yours. Legacy over luxury is the real test of transformation in 2025, because too many people confuse success with showing off. They think a car defines their worth, a watch proves their grind, or a mansion makes them powerful. But all of that fades, all of that depreciates, all of that is temporary shine. Legacy is what remains when the shine is gone. Legacy is the imprint you leave when the lights go out. And the truth is, luxury can make you look rich, but legacy makes you eternal. You can chase every new thing this world dangles in front of you. But if you die tomorrow and nothing you built outlives you, what was it all worth? Real transformation is when your mindset shifts from what can I show people today to what can I leave behind that speaks tomorrow. Luxury is about feeding the ego. Legacy is about feeding the generations. Luxury asks, how do I look right now? Legacy asks, how will I be remembered? Luxury is loud. Legacy is quiet, but undeniable. And in a world that's obsessed with flexing, with trends, with likes, it takes discipline and vision to focus on building something that lasts. Because legacy requires sacrifice. It requires patience. It requires choosing long-term impact over short-term pleasure. And that's why most people never build it. They'd rather chase the applause of today than invest in the respect of tomorrow. But the truth is, when the applause dies, when the likes stop, when the hype fades, the only thing left is what you actually built. And if all you built was an image, then you've built nothing. Legacy means creating work, systems, ideas, and values that live on after you. It means raising your children in strength. It means building businesses that employ others. It means writing words, creating art, teaching lessons, leaving behind something that carries your name forward with honor. And that doesn't mean you can't enjoy nice things. It means you don't let those things define you, because luxury is a tool, not a goal. You can have wealth, you can have cars, you can have houses, but if that's all you have, then your life was shallow. Legacy is what gives wealth meaning. Legacy is what turns resources into responsibility. And when you understand that, you stop chasing material for validation and start using material to build impact. The danger of chasing luxury is that it traps you in cycles of comparison. You'll never feel enough because there's always someone with more, someone with flashier, someone with bigger. And you end up working not to fulfill your purpose, but outshine somebody else. And that's a race you'll never win, because there's no finish line in envy. But legacy frees you from that. Legacy isn't about outshining. It's about outlasting. It's about creating something so strong it can't be erased. And that doesn't require you to be the richest. It requires you to be the most intentional, the most disciplined, the most focused on what really matters. When you choose legacy over luxury, you shift how you measure success. It's no longer about what you own, but about who you've impacted. It's no longer about how loud your lifestyle is, but about how strong your values are. It's no longer about being remembered for what you had, but being remembered for what you gave. And that's transformation, because the truth is life is short, and none of us take our luxuries to the grave. The car stays, the clothes stay, the money stays. What travels with you is the name you built, the character you showed, the people you lifted, the seeds you planted. And that's why legacy matters. In 2025, the temptation to live for luxury will be stronger than ever, with social media flooding your mind with images of fake wealth, fast lifestyles, and surface success. But you have to resist it. You have to ground yourself in purpose. You have to remind yourself that you're not here just to look successful. You're here to be significant. You're here to build, to create, to inspire, to leave something behind that makes people's lives better. And if you can do that, then the world may forget your car, your clothes, your vacations, but it will never forget your impact, your words, your vision, your legacy. That's how transformation becomes eternal, not just for you, but for everyone who comes after you. So here we are at the end. And I need you to hear this with everything inside you. Transformation is not a wish. It's a decision. It's not about waiting for the right moment. It's about creating it. It's not about praying for strength. It's about building it. And the rules we walk through: discipline over distractions, consistency as your crown, facing the pain instead of running, faith in yourself and God, cutting out the dead weight, and choosing legacy over luxury. These are not just words. They're weapons. They're the blueprint for turning 2025 into the year that redefines who you are and what your life stands for. Because when you put them into action, nothing can stop you. Not fear, not doubt, not failure, not even the weight of your past. You'll rise above it all and step into the version of yourself that's been waiting to be born. And when that version shows up, the world won't just notice, the world will remember. So I'll leave you with this. Don't waste this year. Don't waste your power. Don't waste your chance to rewrite your story. It's in your hands now. Go live with fire. Go live with focus. Go live with faith and build something that lasts beyond you. Good luck on your journey. Thank you for walking with me through these words. Now go make 2025 the year that changed everything.